Hello, everyone. It's another episode of VenTalk. Okay, today we always have here, as always, our venerable Jonathan,
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you guys.
and of course, Wisdom United representative Lex, Zihao, and myself, Nicholas.
Hi guys.
Hello, everybody.
Here.
So today is Joyous Perseverance part number 2. So, Fashi, what is joyous perseverance?
Okay, so joyous perseverance is the delight in virtue. So, based on the teachings, the Bodhisattva level explained that it is a flawless state of mind that is enthusiastic about accumulating virtues and working for the welfare of living beings. So, together with physical, verbal, and mental activities. So, this is the state of mind that motivates us to work. Okay, so Nicholas, back to you.
Wow, I'm sure that if everyone practice joyous perseverance in this world, the world will definitely be a better place because we are always working for the welfare of others, helping each other to build a better world. Okay, now case studies as usual, which is our part 2. So the case studies, okay, will be split into 3 parts: level 1, level 2, and level 3. And first, we'll be talking about discouragement, which is our first part of the case study. Let's go.
Okay, so the first level, hope you guys are ready. Okay, easy. So you're in a project, no matter it's school or company. So you have to draw lots for your group members. So apparently, after drawing lots, all of your group mates are people that don't like to do their work properly. So this is a very important project as this will affect your performance bonus or your FYP. So how do you feel? Who wants to answer this question? Let me see. So how do you want to try?
Sure, Fasil.
All right, let's go.
Sure. So I will probably consider myself to be considered quite unlucky to be actually getting the bad teammates. So actually I will lose the motivation to carry on with the project. So I'll be actually quite frustrated and thinking that even though I might want to go on with this project, but I think the failure rate will be quite high. So, however, come think about it, life isn't always as smooth sailing as we have imagined, and these effects are probably resulting from our past karma. So, at the same time, I don't want such unfavorable conditions to affect my performance review. Thus, I feel that it can be a good chance for me to take the lead in checking the work and also support the members as much as I can.
Yes, so I'll take the lead. March forward. All right. So Lex, how about you?
Okay, so in this case, right, I'm in a project and all of my group mates are people that don't do their work properly, okay? And it's also a very important project. Okay, to be honest, at the start, I will probably feel quite upset. And in fact, I will try to find ways to change my group mates to better ones. I mean, better ones, better ones. But after learning Lamrim, right, I know that because of the law of karma, everything happens for a reason. So in this case, right, there's also it happens for a reason why I'm the one who get chosen by these group mates and not anyone else. So if I really need to put in more effort than others to achieve the same results, I won't really feel so bad understanding this karma concept and knowing that it is the consequence of my doing if I put in a lot of effort, put in a lot of time, but I still do badly in this project. It's the consequence of my doing. It's not about others. Okay. The second mindset that I have is that honestly, my thinking, in fact, our thinking and perspectives that the other group mates do not do their jobs properly. This thinking, right, may be flawed or inaccurate because it's just based on my own judgment and it's based on my own knowledge, which is not always accurate or complete. So it is definitely unwise and wrong to assume that, okay, once I get chosen by them, they'll definitely pull me down. In fact, we don't know how the group mates think also because we're not them. We don't know how they feel about certain things. Maybe in this project, they can use their strengths to do well. Okay, so in this case, right, since we're talking about joyous perseverance is one of the 6 factors that bodhisattvas must train to perfection in order to become Buddha, to reach Buddhahood. So in fact, if we were to aim to become a Buddha, we should only think of their benefits, the groupmates' benefits, and not our benefits, and how to best help the groupmates to achieve what they want. So in this case is to achieve a group project result. Instead of just thinking about ourselves, oh, I want to have a good result to impress others, something like that. We should always tune out and think about others instead of ourselves. Okay, that's all for
Yes.
me. Back to you, Fasha.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, yes, the law of karma is very important because what we have planted in the past, we will have to experience it this life. And what we have planted now, we will experience it next life. Okay, and also in joyous perseverance, Bodhisattva will work joyously for the welfare of all beings. So I think this is a very good way for us to train. Now, Bodhisattva is very spontaneous and extremely compassionate. So thoughts will arise in their mind of enduring the suffering of the sake of all sentient beings. And Bodhisattva will want to save them. So it's just like a prince that is ready to save his people, or even like a parents. When the kid is in trouble, the parents will make a lot of ways to help the kid when he's in trouble. All right, so let us move on to level 2. Okay, level 2. Your boss assign you a new task and it has total of 3 segments. You found that 70% of the people in your company that has taken on this task have failed to complete even the first segment. So after they have failed the task, they are not allowed to receive any promotion or any raise for the next 3 years. So if you manage to complete the task, you will be promoted. So what are you going to do?
So I'm going to try this case study first.
Let's go.
So personally, I feel that I'm very lucky to have the habit of positive thinking, but at the start, to engage in challenging tasks. Okay, I'll be very positive. Wow, this kind of challenge, I definitely want to, try and do it so I can improve myself. However, knowing myself before the teachings, the process, any kind of small obstacles will actually discourage me very, very easily. So I'm very glad to actually meet the teachings. So why? Because I learned to stop the discouragement. So what is the goal? The goal is to have a promotion, right? So knowing that discouragement will not benefit me at all, but in the end causing more troubles to myself. So I need to stop it and just think of the goal, which is the promotion, to maybe earn more money, to provide better food for my parents, or maybe even donate to people who are in need of it. Then I'll cultivate the power of joy. So what's the cultivation of power of joy? Like kids, no matter what, they'll always find things around the house to satisfy their needs. So putting this attitude to doing this task to get a better promotion, it will make life easier than putting all the discouragement in your mind. So that's for my answer for this, Fasil.
All right. So how about you?
Sure. Thank you, Nick, for the sharing. So personally, I feel that I think of the 70%, I 70% of failing the first segment. So I would actually have the thought that, will I even have the chance to complete the task, since there is such a high probability that I will fail? So there's this famous quote that says, you will never know until you try, right? So what if I'm the 30% that can be successful? Just like the track runners, I can quote this example. They actually run during the Olympic Games. So each of them has the equal chance of winning the medals as long as they start running and never give up. So even if I may not have gotten the rewards in the end, but then it's okay. I've already gained the experience for me to rise again and do it better the next time. So successes don't just drop from the sky without even trying, but it is through our hard work. So back to you, Pashu.
Thank you. I think attitude is very important. Our attitude when we start doing the task is very, very important. All right, so let us move on to level 3. If you guys remember Xiao Bao, level 3, you have a pet dog named Xiao Bao for 10 years, 10 months, and 25 days. If you guys remember 2 months ago, yes, Xiao Bao. Okay, so Xiao Bao is a very well-trained dog, and he will settle his own business at home alone, and he will come back home after he settles his business. But then it was 11 p.m. and you couldn't find him. So you went downstairs and asked the people around. So you asked one person, and that person said that Xiao Bao apparently went into the forest nearby, and it was very dark. Sometimes you do hear weird noises in the forest when you're walking past. So what kind of weird noises? Maybe the sound of wild boars or sound of people fighting and shouting. So will you remain positive and risk your life going into the forest? So yes, you tried to call people around to help you, but then they said that you just have to wait. That's the only thing you can do. And some of your friends and family members even say that, no, Xiaopao is quite old already, so don't risk your life going into the forest. So will you let all of these words affect your feelings? Who wants to try this?
Okay. I'll just let Zhihao rest a bit first. I'll try first, okay? So, in case you guys don't know, right? I can relate to this pretty well. Why? Because I have 3 cats at home. Yeah, 3 cats at home. So I do understand the attachment between an owner and a pet. Yeah, so okay, back to the case study. I have this dog for 10 years plus, and then now that dog, let me see. Oh, okay, now that dog is trapped in a forest, a very dangerous forest. Okay, so right, to be honest, right, having such a close relationship to the dog, I will definitely head into the forest to search for the dog. So thinking in terms of the dog's perspective, right? Or if I put myself in the dog's shoes, like I become the dog, right? Being in such a dangerous and strange place without anyone guiding it out of the forest or without anyone helping it, will cause it a lot of fear and confusion. Yeah, and this is not just about the place itself, even the environment. So in the case study, right, it says that there are sounds of wild boars and there are a lot of people fighting. Yeah, for such a small dog, right? If you think in the dog's perspective, the wild boars and the people, right, are like very large size predators that may cause a lot of damage to the dog, and the dog cannot fight back if the dog is bullied or the dog is being injured. Okay, so the dog will definitely wish for me to save it because the relationship between owner and pet, yeah, the dog will rely on me. Yeah, just like how I would hope for a savior to guide me out if I experience such great misery and fear. For instance, quite an example. For instance, if I'm trapped in a burning building, I would definitely hope my family members will call the firefighters to save me out. Okay. Yeah, so that is my answer. Now I would like to sidetrack a bit. So while I'm searching for a dog, right, I know that this is a dangerous situation even for me because there are wild boars and there are people fighting. So I would actually supplicate to the 3 jewels, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha to protect me, 加持, so that my bad karma won't ripen and cause very unfortunate incidents to occur. Because in dangerous situations like this, right, supplications are very important to keep, for me, supplications are very important to keep me mentally stable and also prevent disastrous situations from occurring. Right. Okay. Back to you, Fashi.
Okay, so Zihao, let's go.
Okay, Fashi. So for me, I also have the same thought as what Lex have. I will actually definitely risk my life going to the forest to look for Xiaobao. Having Xiaobao for so many years, but I will actually take additional precaution before going into the forest. So I believe that this is the attitude of I need to do it to actually find Xiaobao. So I actually have been a pet owner myself in the past. So my pet also always go missing from time to time. And then I also feel very frustrated whenever it gone missing and I have to find it again. So, but then I feel that instead of feeling like helpless and feeling guilty, I actually prefer to take action, actually, despite the difficulties, even though I know that the search might not produce a very pleasant results. So I actually try to imagine myself being trapped or lost in a deserted place. I also hope that people will actually come and rescue me, even though I know the place that I am in is very dangerous for others to access. Yeah, that's from me. Back to you,
Oh.
Fakshi.
Well, I think you guys are very compassionate. No, not just to your pets, but to all of the beings as well. So I think this a very important point is discouragement. No, when your family members say that, oh, you shouldn't go in there, you should let Xiaopao just stuck in there or just wait for things to happen. I think most of the pet owner won't want to wait. All right. So being discouraged and remain so brings no benefit at all. And this only leads to further discouragement. So we have to understand well the methods of achieving your goal and uplift your mind. So when you do this, the completion of your aims is in your hand. So like what Zihao said, right? No, his pet will go missing time to time. So after a lot of experiences, he will know the perfect plan to save his pet. Okay, so let us move on to the procrastination part, which is also the laziness part. Okay, so your parents require your help to do urgent tasks, and you agreed on this. But then, will you choose to head out with your boyfriend or girlfriend to your favorite restaurant, or will you just help your parents to do that task as fast as possible? Okay, so maybe Nick, do you want to try this?
Okay, here we go. Okay, this one I am definitely very, very guilty towards my parents. So before the teachings, I'll prioritize the date and the good food. So I'll definitely repent on this. And this is due to the attachment. I really have strong attachments towards therefore prioritizing the date and the food. So this would therefore cause parents to be unhappy, causing very unnecessary relationship issues all the time. But after the teachings, okay, I know the importance of parents. So this brings to the topic of filial piety. So why? Because parents actually take care of us by providing food, water, and shelter. So thank you, Papa, Mama. I love you a lot for taking care of me so much. And after the teachings, I learned to adopt the armor light of joyous perseverance. So no matter what kind of urgent task they do, they ask me to do, I'll definitely to help them, because this armor light joyous perseverance is actually to gather virtue and act for the welfare of living beings. So for this case, are my parents practicing filial piety. So let me share an analogy with you. So parents, just like a tree, the parents is like the root of the tree. So if the root or even the stem of the tree is not even strong, how can it support the weight of the branches or even the fruits? So we need to build a strong base, which for this case, which is filial piety to our parents. Then we have a very, very strong tree. How about you, Zihao?
Sure, Nick. Okay, to be honest to you, I actually have the same decision that you actually made in the past. I would definitely go for the date and the good food. I also got to repent for that. I feel very sorry for it. So I will actually find some other excuses to actually delay the task that I actually agreed upon, despite knowing that it is quite urgent. And also maybe passing the task to someone else. And as time goes by, I find that this actually forms a habit in me. And then not only I actually apply it to my parents, I also slowly actually expand to the people around me as well. So now I actually learned about this teaching and that joyous perseverance has actually tell me about the power of steadfastness. So since I have actually agreed to do something, I should actually complete the task to the end. So especially knowing that it is very urgent. So imagine myself in a hospital and actually in a critical condition and requiring urgent attention already. So but then the doctor decided to do something else instead of saving me in the operating theater. I think I won't want that to happen to myself as well. So I shouldn't be doing the same thing to others. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Zihao. So I think habits is very important, as just now you mentioned. So laziness is also a form of habit. So if we keep on being lazy, right? So laziness can be a habit that's not just in this current life, but then also in your future lives. So if you can see some of your friends, maybe you can see from them, they are always lazy and don't want to do anything. So I think we have to develop a joyous perseverance, a diligent attitude. So this, if you being lazy, will cause you to be less and less motivated to do virtuous deeds. So first, we have to know what is our priorities and act accordingly. Okay, so next, level 2. Level 2, get ready, guys. So during your final year project, your friends, you and your friends, they spend a lot of time and effort creating an extremely well thought out and flawless product plan. So the lecturer thinks that, oh, it's a very good plan. I think you guys deserve something. But then because of this praise, right, this create a complacency within you guys. So at the end of the day, you do not have time to complete or create the products. So because of this complacency, right, the entire group has failed, and you have to retain another year. Retain another year. It's not funny, yeah. Okay, so Nicholas, do you want to try?
My pleasure, Fasil. So let me bring everyone back to my poly days. Okay, poly days, definitely everyone knows that year 3, there's a final year project down there that we need to face this. So same thing as this case, everyone start off very, very strong. But after that, because of just one praise, okay, for my case, my group tend to play games together. Then after that, delay. So when the deadline is about to reach, this is where I want to bring in dependent arising. Sometimes people will be like, oh no, I have some problems at my family, I'm unable to come. Therefore, this will affect the unable to complete the product at the end of the day. So therefore, failing and retaining, this is before the teaching. So after the teachings will be like in the university, okay, because I know I chose this path to study in this uni, study in this course. I have to develop, just like how develop the power of steadfastness at level 1. I'm going to put it to level 2. Means that you bring to conclusion without turning back anything at which you joyously persevere. So once you start, you better finish, because all the school fees is paid for to the uni to get your degree for a better future. So that is for me, Fasil.
Okay, so next, how about you?
Okay, for me, right? Okay, in this case, right, final year project, we put in a lot of effort, but then in the end, we failed this group project. I think it's something that many of us may resonate. We put in a lot of effort, then we think that everything is going well. In the end, okay, we fail, you know. So I think that for me, right, usually after a celebration, a large success, or even just a praise, one may feel entitled to indulge himself in pleasures and become lazy, not sticking to the important or correct things to do, because he may feel like he earned his right to enjoy or slack. Okay, I'm not saying y'all lah, I'm just saying myself lah. That's what I'll do lah. Okay, because I feel that I deserve it lah. You know, I put in so much effort, then after I get some success, I deserve it. I'll do something that's unproductive. As previously mentioned in the previous VenTalk on Joyous Perseverance, there's this quote in the Lamrim that says, even some laziness in the mind causes all good qualities, mundane and supramundane, to be lost. So this case study shows how laziness can cause one to be careless with a date as important as the deadline of the project, and how the mindfulness of an individual gets reduced so much when he is lazy. So it relates back to that quote. So that's why in the teaching, right, the mindfulness of death is very heavily emphasized by our gurus. The concept that we can die anytime, anywhere, even today, when we keep diligently thinking about this, right, is a very extremely powerful and effective antidote to cure laziness. Yeah, that's all I have. Fashion.
Thank you. Yes, so mindfulness of death is actually very positive and make you very proactive. It's not something like, oh, I'm going to die, so I should give up everything. It's not like this. Okay, so you have to be very proactive in doing your things. And I think mindfulness is very important. Mindfulness is like the sword. When you are a warrior, you need a sword. So mindfulness is like the sword that will cut away afflictions, which is the laziness. Okay, let us move on to the last level, level 3. Okay, so you are in charge of handling the intensive care unit, ICU, in the hospital, and any bad habits or distraction will cause huge problem if the patient have sudden attack, and this will lead them to death. So I think this is very important. You may kill someone. However, you did not sleep well for the past 3 days, but you have to wait for another 6 hours to change your shift. So another person will come in 6 hours later. So far, nothing serious happened this week. So you are starting to doze off. So what do you think, Nicholas? What will you do?
Wow, Pasha, this level is a little bit hard because it's linking to people's life. However, for my case, before the teachings, I will doze off because why? It's 3 days of not sleeping well, and the next shift to be changed is 6 hours later. So I definitely dozed off. I have to say that. I'm so sorry to all the ICU patients. But after the teachings, okay, for this case study, I would definitely analyze why the lack of sleep for that 3 days. Okay, I'm sure maybe I have a habit of using my phone before bed, then therefore in the end use phone until like 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., ending up having shorter time, lack of sleep. So I find a solution to this, which is the power of relinquishment. Okay, so what is the power of relinquishment? So meaning that when I become physically or mentally fatigued, which is very, very tired, okay, I have to rest. I need to find time to rest because I know my job, that I'm in charge of a ICU patients, which is the intensive care unit. You always have to be there because anything at any time, anything can happen to the patient. So I have to be alert. I need to have the power of relinquishment to take care of myself in order to take care of others. How about you, Lex?
Okay, for me in this case, I will definitely try my best to keep awake. So for instance, I'll do jumping jacks or I'll eat sweets or even watch videos to keep myself from thinking about sleep. Okay, so why do I make this decision? I believe before we do anything, right, we need to think about the consequences, pros and cons of our actions. So in this case, we have to choose between 6 hours of sleep deprivation versus potentially someone's life. Okay, even though the probability of a patient dying in that 6 hours is very low, as stated in the case study, 3 days nothing happened. But the law of impermanence, as taught in Lamrim, right, tells us we cannot rely on probability and assume that sleeping during my shift, right, will not cause the death of another. Okay, it's definitely very possible. Another way for us to convince ourselves to be awake in such a tiring state is to think that, what if we are the family members of the patients in the ICU? Yeah, how will we feel knowing that the doctor, right, just chooses to sleep, even though it's his duty, then it risks our family member's life? We'll feel bad also, right? So sometimes another point is, right, sometimes when we think we are not able to do something, in this case, is staying awake, right? It may sometimes be because we are lazy and we don't view this task as very important. Honestly, if we want to do something, if we really need to do something, right, we'll do it by hook or by crook. So let me ask you this: you guys go and visualize or something. If the doctor says you have only 1 month more to live, unless you run 5 kilometers every day, will you go and do it? Confirm you go and do it because you know the pros and cons of running 5 km every day. Even though last time don't have these pros and cons, you say, 5 km impossible, I have so many things to do. Okay, so this is just an analogy that you guys can contemplate about because this goes to show that it's just about prioritizing the important tasks and viewing it as very important. Right, back to you, Fasher.
Yes, thank you, Lex. So I think you gave a very strong analogy that no, there's no reason for us to be lazy. Okay, we have to find the reason or the consequences if we do not do it properly. So another thing is when you are concentrating and if you experience the causes of laziness, such as sleepiness, then you have to confront and destroy them. Okay, so restrain yourself and thinking from now on, I shall make sure that this fault never occurs again. So you have to make this aspiration. So when you make this aspiration, right, I think you'll wake up because your mental strength is much higher. Okay, so Nick, summary.
Right, I have to say, in our summary, I have to rejoice Lex and Zihao for their sharing. Okay, why? Because they actually show joyous perseverance in actually sharing, combining all the other chapters of the teachings for everyone to know about it. So this is definitely a very, very good thing. Rejoice to you guys. And joyous perseverance is actually equates to delight in virtue. So why delight in virtue? Because it actually helps ourselves, because we are making ourselves likable. For example, let's say you're in a project, okay, you're doing a project. If you have joyous perseverance, you have no difficulty accomplishing any project because you always have full of drive, therefore benefiting everyone, making yourself likable. therefore equating to helping yourself too, because help others equates to helping yourself. That is the benefit. And not only that, there's another benefit is that you spend your days wisely, because um you don't know when we're gonna go. Okay, so you definitely want to make every day the best out of it. And not only that, you attain pleasures desired in life, because you know your joyous perseverance, you work very hard, you earn a lot of money, you are able to get what you want easily. And then we need to know the faults of not habituating joyous perseverance. Okay, why? Because you lack all good quality. Once you are lazy, how can one have good qualities? And not only that, you do not work for others' welfare, meaning that you always think about yourself, and therefore maybe it will be neutral. So if you want help from others, it will be not that easy, because as what I mentioned earlier, helping others equates to helping oneself. So I really hope that everyone benefit through this VenTalk to practice joyous perseverance. If you are able to practice joyous perseverance, rejoice to you guys. If you are unable to, it's okay. We take it one step at a time. So that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoy. Till the next VenTalk. Good night, everybody.
Thank you and see you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.